What's up everyone, Zach Seif here. Today we're going to be talking about my new favorite wireless guitar system, the Shure GLXD16. So why am I even reviewing this Shure unit when I've been super happy with the Sennheiser unit that I've been using for 3 years at this point? Well, that's exactly the thing. I've had issues with both the transmitter and the receiver unit now that they're about 3 years old, where the battery just isn't lasting. I had first the transmitter unit die and then the receiver unit die within just about 2 months of each other. And what I mean by they died on stage is that they weren't holding charge for a whole show. We only play about 3-hour shows and the battery's supposed to last for 5, but I was having the battery die by the beginning of the third set, leaving me stuck to using the cable for the rest of the show. And what's even worse is despite being only about 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours from the Sennheiser Repair Center in Connecticut, it takes a month for the entire replacement or repair process to happen. I sent these units out and it took a week for them to acknowledge that they received it, and then it took another week for them to actually look at the unit, another week to tell me if it was repairable or if they're just going to replacement, and then another week for them to send me the payment, and then it finally got shipped out. So I can't wait 4 to 5 weeks if something happens on the road because I'm playing shows every single week. So lo and behold, the Shure GLXD. So what drew me to the Shure GLXD16 Plus system in the first place was its form factor and its features. The unit itself is the size of a typical guitar pedal, and it acts as also a tuner and a mute switch, which frees up a button on my Fractal units so that I can assign something else to those. Since it operates in both the 2.4 and the 5.8 GHz frequency range, if we're ever having interference issues, all I have to do is swap from 2.4 to 5.8 and I'm back in the game. No other unit that I've used before has this feature. I also like how rugged the metal chassis is. It looks like it's really robust and reliable on the road. The unit itself is compatible with pretty much any 9-volt power supply as long as it has a minimum current of 400 milliamps and can also be used with up to 12-volt power supplies, so you can daisy chain this with other power supplies that you're using. The battery itself delivers up to 12 hours of runtime, which means I could use this for 2 weeks worth of shows without having to worry about charging it, whereas with my old unit I had to charge it after every single show. Last but not least, it has an additional true bypass input, which allows me, if I wanted to keep, say, an acoustic guitar or a banjo or mandolin, I could keep that hardwired into the unit itself, and then I can easily toggle between the wireless pack on my electric guitar and the wired cable on something else, which allows me to now use it as basically a 2-channel mixer to run into my pedal board, which is awesome. One of the other cool features is that the battery can be charged directly on the receiver via USB-C cable, so I can keep it plugged in and charging during the show, or I can use any wall wart and plug it in at home and charge it. If you are charging it at a show, it only takes about 3 hours to go from empty to full, so you can plug it in during load-in, and then by the time you're ready to hit the stage and actually play, it should be ready to go. Hey everyone, just want to take a quick second to thank you all for watching today's video. Make sure you take 2 seconds to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel a ton, more than you can possibly imagine. And with that out of the way, let's get back to the video. So now we're going to set everything up and program it so that the transmitter and the receiver pack are synced together. So we'll start by plugging this thing in. And it should power up right off the bat. It has 1D, which is most likely the channel that it's been set to. So we're going to turn on the pack. There's a little on-off switch right here. Flick that on. So it seems to be reading something on the tuner display. And it looks like audio is passing. This is plugged into my Axe FX. So it looks like it's already paired, which is great. I'm going to plug this into my guitar and we'll see what happens. So my guitar is plugged in. No latency or anything. It should be the mute switch. Yep, no audio is coming out of that Fractal. Tuner is super fast on this. It's actually faster than the Fractal, which is nice. So tuner works, and you can see it's muting. It's telling you when it's receiving audio. So that was super easy. It was already preset from the factory. Everything's talking. I press it again, it unmutes. So if we take a look here at mode, we have dB here, which I guess is how much gain you're sending into it, it can adjust that, and it looks like it goes up pretty high. So now we're adding 40 dB a gain. We're gonna not do that and overload anything, and then we can reduce up to 20. So if we reduce 20, it's very quiet. We go back to mode, dB. We increase that back to 0. So now we get to the real test, which is how far can I move with my guitar plugged in before we lose signal. So I have my iPad recording the Shure. We have my Mesa plugged in. We've got audio running on Logic. And we're just gonna start walking outside and see what happens. We'll flip the switch on the amp. We will unmute the Shure. We're getting signal. Let's see what happens. Really bright. So we're outside. So it looks like we lost a little bit of signal, but realistically, you're not going to be that far from it, I'd imagine. So it really depends on your use case, but I mean, I'm never more than 100 feet from my wireless unit when I'm on even the biggest stages that we play. And it's very unlikely that you're gonna have concrete walls between your wireless unit and your guitar. So I say we do a slightly more realistic test. We're gonna do the same thing, which is more realistic. This is about how far I would normally be. Even if I do the other side of the basement. No issues there. That just about wraps up today's video. I can't wait to take this thing out with both Crash the Party and the Ever After band, which is the wedding band that I recently joined full time, and put this thing through its paces. Again, I'm just tired of having issues with the Sennheiser and the fact that it takes a month plus turnaround for repairs and replacements to get sent out. I just don't have that kind of time for it. I'm pretty much playing 1 and 2 shows a week throughout the entire year, so I can't go an entire month without a wireless unit, and this just seems to be more robust, more reliable, and it's more easily available to get one of those replacement batteries at a local music store than it is to get a whole other unit and get it sent out for repair and warranty. Yada yada. Hopefully this thing works out really well, and hopefully you see it in some future gig vlogs that'll show you if it really stands up to how much I tour and play shows throughout the year. If you guys like what you saw today and you want more content, I post on social media all the time. Those links are in the description below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your thoughts on this wonderful unit from Shure. Until next time, everyone, keep on following your dreams.